JIT-TV, just in time.
Sanbanan Babugila Makai and a very warm welcome to JIT-TV News, where we bring you nothing but politics, business, sports and entertainment all in one experience. Ikamala mo andile gugulethu intombi yakwacindi umahlaba. Let us quickly take a look at your headlines for today. Motsoaledi's decision to end ZEP invalid and unconstitutional, rules High Court. 1,000 benefit from Wange 7 and 8 spin-offs. Russian missile designed to bring down a plane hits a crowded pizza restaurant in Kramatorsk. SA elected to host 2023 Davis Cup Africa Group 3 tournament. Now, the Pretoria's High Court has declared Home Affairs Minister Aaron Motsoaledi's decision to discontinue the Zimbabwean exemption permit unconstitutional and invalid. In 2021, Motsoaledi announced that the special permit will be terminated, and thus prompted court challenges from various civil society organizations, including Helen Suzman Foundation and the Consortium of Refugees and Migrants in South Africa on Wednesday. The court ruled in their favor, funding, among others, that proper public consultation did not take place before the decisions was made. The court also granted the Zimbabwe Immigration Federation, another organization that has challenged the move, an interim interdict preventing ZEP holders from being arrested or deported for now.
There were two judgments today. The first judgment, may I say the Helen Suzman judgment, that judgment was very clear. The High Court has declared the government's decision to end the ZEP unlawful and the decision-making process unlawful, which is a very strong judgment because it basically sets aside everything that the minister has done. Zimbabwe Immigration Federation's judgment, part A of that judgment, I believe that interdict also was successful. You mentioned a time period which has been given, which is also very strong. It puts the ZEP holders in a stronger position than they had yesterday, and we're quite happy. We're quite happy that that those two judgments have gone in favor of the ZEP holders. We always knew the decision by the minister was unlawful, and the Zimbabwean Exemption Permit Holders Association, ZEP, who I represent, are pushing for permanent residency, or at least the pathway for ZEP holders to apply for permanent residency.
In a bid to empower media practices in Zimbabwe, the government has announced plans to set up a housing scheme that will benefit at least 1,000 journalists across the country. The announcement was made by the Deputy Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Kindness Paradza, during the burial of Newzania editorial consultant and veteran journalist Favour Sibanda on Tuesday. Paradza said the government has partnered with a local estate agent to build houses for journalists throughout the country as a way of improving their farewell.
JIT-TV, just in time.
Building the brand. This is where you have to be to get where you want to be. Exploring companies and businesses that are thriving and leading is what we are all about. I am Mazimpofu, your host, that will be bringing to you big cooperatives and relevant people that will be sharing with you their journeys of successes, failures, and lessons learned in their businesses, from humble beginnings to global success. Catch me, Mazimpofu, on Building the Brand.
JIT-TV, just in time.
Let's quickly take a look now at your African news for today. Now, the president of the African Union considered yesterday that the deterioration of the situation in the east of the DRC stabilizes the country and defended efforts to make the country a source of happiness and not of conflict. Azali Osmani, who was speaking at the opening of the quadripartite summit of the heads of state and government on the pacification of eastern DRC taking place in Luanda, said the prevailing situation is a concern of the region, the continent and the rest of the world. The need of pacification in the DRC, where military tension persists and this country opposes Rwanda, is the focus of the summit of these heads of state and the government of the 4 African region blocs. And now on to the international news for today. Now, at least 11 people have been killed, including children, and 61 injured after a Russian missile struck a pizza restaurant in the eastern Ukrainian city of Kramatorsk in Donetsk region. A second missile hit a village on the fringe of the city, injuring 5 people. Officials said 3 girls, 2 sisters aged 14 and 17, were among those killed in the explosion. The city's mayor said the body of a boy was pulled from the rubble on Wednesday morning. Ukraine's defense ministry shared a footage showing the extensive damage to the local buildings and a distressed mother looking for her missing daughter, who she said worked in the restaurant that was hit. Now, the Gold Mafia documentary became televised on the Al Jazeera channel.
Nonsensical documentary, a racist propaganda tool.
They have a right to sell their gold anywhere. In fact, I encourage Mnangagwa, bust the sanctions.
The government of Zimbabwe is incurring no risk, but it receives the tax.
Please wake up to the reality and the real scam that's taking place here.
Nothing but the best interesting stories and the hottest ones on The Alternative View.
The revolution shall be televised.
Let's get down now to the business side of news for today. Now, the $1.5 billion Hwange Thermal Power Station Unit 7 and 8 expansion project in Madebeleland North Province has generated immense economic and social spin-off amid reports that 50,000 people and international entities have directly benefited from the massive project through employment and provision of various supplies. The project has proved to be a critical economic enabler beyond increased power generation, as it has boosted several projects that feed into the ongoing construction works. The families had to be moved to pave the way for the transmission line. As a result, 72 houses are said to be built, while some have already been handed over to affected families. Now, President Emmerson Mnangagwa said small-scale miners are at the center of economic development in the country, and government will do everything possible to support them and improve their operating environment. In the quest to attain $12 billion mining industry, the president said all bottlenecks that include legislative gaps have impeded the work of small-scale miners would be addressed as the country moves towards modernization and industrialization using various instruments. With an event hosted in Gweru, it drew a huge crowd of ZANU-PF supporters who came to show their support for the various economic measures being spearheaded by the government, including the mining sector.
Welcome to Zambezi River Lodge, Victoria Falls. Nestled on the banks of the mighty Zambezi River, right on the edge of the national park, Zambezi occupies the most unique and finest spot with the tranquility and seclusion every traveler seeks. Each of its well-appointed rooms is either garden or river facing, allowing you to soak in the serenity of the environment. The award-winning restaurant Amlonga offers delectable cuisine, which includes our famous high teas. To explore Victoria Falls from this fine location, book any of our packages now. Zambezi River Lodge. Relax, refresh, replenish.
And now on to your JIT-TV News weather report. And lastly, on to your sports news. Now, Tennis SA has shared the most exciting news that SA has been named as the 2023 host for the Davis Cup Africa Group 3 tournament. SA's tennis stars have been working their way up the global rankings, so having the chance to watch them play locally is a big one. The Tennis SA President Galvin Criggs shared his thoughts on SA being selected as the country. We're delighted to have the opportunity to host the 2023 Davis Cup Group 3 tournament. It is a testament to South Africa's commitment to tennis and our ability to organize the world-class events. We are confident that this tournament will not only showcase the eminent talent in Africa, but also inspire the next generation of the players in our region. And that is all from me to you. A huge thank you for joining me today. As always, kindly please comment and follow us to all our social media platforms at Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, or rather you can go to our website at www.JIT-TVzw. Signing out, it is Andile Gugulethu Intombi Yakwacindi Umahlaba. Have yourselves an amazing day.
JIT-TV, just in time.
There are not so many places where mice excellence has been achieved. Meeting in Zimbabwe is the best business decision you will ever make. Our adherence to COVID-19 safety protocols is second to none, coupled with the warm and hospitable nature of the people of Zimbabwe. Our conference facilities sit on marvelous backdrops which will offer a splendid experience that will leave a lasting impression on you and your delegates. The magic of Zimbabwe can be felt in every breath, bite and beat. Stadiums and exhibition centers are known for their international appeal and world-class standards. The high-end technology will surely enhance your experience of the exhibition, festival or concert. Motivate your team by treating them to a trip of a lifetime through our crafted itineraries. Should they have love for adrenaline-packed activities or calm and relaxed excursions, the enchantment will last a lifetime of memories. Mingle and engage with locals and enjoy our diverse culture and warm hospitality. Our mice drivers are ready to welcome you to Zimbabwe and exceed your expectations.
The revolution shall be televised. JIT-TV, just in time.